people are currently in a panic over Ripple's application for a Federal Reserve Master account. I want to discuss Ripple's transition to a federally licensed bank, its access to a Federal Reserve Master account, and the implications for XRP's future pricing in this video. I also want to demonstrate to you why this is causing such a stir and what, should Ripple succeed, would signify for the whole cryptocurrency market. As always, this channel really appreciates your support. We appreciate everyone who takes the time to subscribe to the channel and like these videos. These two easy things are a huge assistance to me. Additionally, if you know of a reliable source for purchasing XRP, be sure to check out my preferred exchange upload, which is mentioned in the video's description. Having said that, let's get started, and I hope you all like the material. I, therefore, want to begin this video by discussing the precise causes of the current panic and where it is coming from. Toward the end of the video, I will discuss the true implications of a Federal Reserve Master account for Ripple and XRP. But first, I want to draw attention to something that happened over the weekend. There has been a lot of controversy over the past weekend or 2 days regarding Ripple obtaining a Federal Reserve Master account. Now, 𝗙𝗶𝗀 was one of the most startling things we witnessed. She is, in fact, custodial bank CEO. She is a strong supporter of the Bitcoin sector. Although it doesn't appear to be the cryptocurrency sector, she wrote a lengthy, popular article on Ripple for this show. We won't pay attention to it, it's useless. It's kind of hilarious since you're paying such careful attention to Ripple and XRP and encouraging others not to pay attention to Ripple XRP, therefore discussing basically why people shouldn't be paying attention to XRP and Ripple. In any case, she basically disseminated a number of false beliefs about XRP and Ripple by releasing this whole thing. She stated, among other things, that the XRP ledger is not decentralized and that Ripple conducted an initial coin offering. She claimed that, among other things, ETH didn't do an IPO, remarking that Ripple has never had an ICO that jumped on the correction. No coins were sold before the creation of the XRP ledger, which happened simultaneously with XRP. 𝗙𝗶𝗀 discusses Ethereum's equitable distribution in her interview. Ethereum, on the other hand, hosted the first coin offering. Before the Ethereum chain even existed, they were really selling Ethereum. Furthermore, this cannot be disputed. 𝗙𝗶𝗀 and Vitalik both provided direct testimony to this. They stated, quite simply, we had an ICO. It's obvious that Ripple never had an ICO. It's hilarious to see her inadvertently or intentionally misremember these crucial details. She also discusses how the XRP ledger is a centralized chain rather than a decentralized one. The XRP ledger has more than 1,000 nodes. Ripple has no authority over the chain. Clearly, it is decentralized. Anyone with a brain who can comprehend how these networks function can conclude that the XRP ledger is decentralized, so it's practically useless to even discuss it. Her final point is that our LUSD is a turn away from the XRP ledger, and that nobody is using the XRP ledger. Tokenizing assets was the literal reason behind the creation of the XRP ledger. The claim that Ripple is moving away from the XRP ledger by issuing our OUSD is something I'll never be able to comprehend. To begin with, our OUSD is based on the XRP ledger. More significantly, tokenized assets were the only focus of the XRP ledger. One of the original ideas of the XRP ledger's developers was that fiat money would not disappear and that a system that functions with the outdated system would need to be developed. One in which these traditional types of value can be tokenized. They were aware that in the future we were entering, individuals would not be using Bitcoin to pay one another, or countries would abandon their own currencies in favor of cryptocurrency assets. Correct, that whole thing is absurd. One of the few businesses to recognize this early on was Ripple, which thought, well, perhaps instead of creating this utopian society in which people pay one another in a volatile decentralized currency, right, and governments simply abandon their own currency and adopt the Bitcoin standard, right? Let's construct a system that integrates with the current system instead of creating a system that goes to this unreal world. Isn't that right? 1. That allows you to tokenize stocks, bonds, dollars, yen, and fiat contributions. As a result, the XRP ledger was specifically designed for our LUSD. Therefore, the fact that she believes that to be a pivot or is attempting to use it against Ripple and XRP simply demonstrates a profound lack of knowledge about why the XRP ledger was established in the manner that it was, and that this is, in fact, a really good thing, but he basically attempts to make it a negative. Guys, if you're wondering why someone so well known in the cryptocurrency industry, like her, feels the need to suddenly launch an assault on a firm like Ripple, the answer is simple. It ultimately boils down to Ripple's application to become a national trust bank and the Federal Reserve master account. This is something that many individuals struggle with constantly. And why is it the case? The reason is that, unlike Ripple, all these other cryptocurrency startups are substantially smaller, lack the necessary firepower, and do not have a board of directors that includes representatives from BNY Mellon and BlackRock. These individuals have all been attempting to obtain this Fed master account for a very long period with little success. I believe that the reason they are suddenly criticizing Ripple for submitting one is because there are definitely some stories and tea leaves circulating that suggest Ripple would most likely receive this Fed master account. People like Caitlin Long are therefore in a panic when they watch Ripple suddenly stepping in, cutting the queue, and obtaining this Fed master account after they had been unsuccessful for a very long time. Ultimately, I have discussed this topic in great detail on the channel. There aren't many kids and individuals attempting to overthrow the system on the board of directors of their Ripple. Professionals with resources and prior expertise at locations such as the Federal Reserve are abundant. They therefore possess the relationships necessary to actually bring this about. They are able to enter the space they are capable of completing these tasks. It's a major benefit and one of the main reasons I think Ripple has done business the way they have. They make the correct connections, they have the contacts and know who to turn to in order to truly bring about these crucial changes. People like Caitlin Long's bank are another factor that gives Ripple a significant edge over the other cryptocurrency firms. Isn't that correct? They must visit their platform and purchase all the cryptocurrency assets they like. Ripple already has a war chest of billions of dollars worth of XRP and an escrow. They simply have a significant edge over the other players in the market. Then, individuals like Caitlin Long publicly lament, "Oh, Ripple shouldn't have all this money. All of this XRP shouldn't be theirs. It's not fair." Again. From the standpoint of, say, we don't have it, they are essentially stating that, as if Ripple had all this cash, we are unable to accomplish all these amazing things that they can do. We consider that to be unjust. In actuality, their understanding of what Ripple had with XRP was simply inferior. They don't have much money, they lack the contacts necessary to have a board of directors similar to Ripple's. They lack the funds to go out and do these things. They lack the networks necessary to collect funds and carry out all of Ripple's amazing features, and for that reason, they believe it to be unfair. They constantly try to claim that XRP is a hoax or that they are simply dumping on retail because of this. Because they lack the firepower to do it themselves, they are attempting to persuade retail